Okay, so I tried to write everything out so it doesn't take as long. So first of all, you know, like Soh-cah-toa, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent opposite over adjacent. Okay, and then I kind of think of them as like they have friends, like best friends. So sine and cosecant are reciprocals of each other. They're like best friends, right? Because sine and cosecant is 1 over sine, right? And 1 over cosecant is sine. So they kind of go together, okay? Cosine and secant are reciprocals of each other, and tangent and cotangent. But then they have other friends, right? You have other friends. So like sine and cosine, those together make 90, or pi over 2. I put that like, remember, 90 is pi over 2. So those make 90. Tangent and cotangent, their angles together make 90. And cosecant and secant, their angles together will make 90. Like if you know the angle of one, you'll know if the cosecant of an angle is 30, you'll know that the secant is 60, right? Because 60 and 30 make 90. Okay, so we kind of have to know that. So all they're doing here is, okay, we see they give us, right here, sine of 81. Well, they're giving you the 9. That means they make 90. Well, who is sine's BFF, right? Cosine, because they make 90. So that's where they're getting the cosine. Okay. And then they're like, okay, cosine, remember who's friends with who now? Okay, sine and cosine make 90. They're BFFs. But secant, if we look over here, secant and cosecant are reciprocals of each other. I'm sorry, secant and cosine, right? So if they're giving you the cosine of 9, then the secant, or the 1 over the secant of 9 is the same. Like this is this. So who are like the across buddies? Stella, please stop barking. And then, of course, cosecant and secant are BFFs. They make 90. So that's where we're getting those two numbers. So you kind of have to memorize who's friends with who, right? I call these like the reciprocal friends, right? And then like the BFFs that make 90. Like those make 90, they make 90, and then these two make 90. Okay? So when we look at the next one, they're giving you tan of 15. Who's tans, or cotan and tan, sorry, they're giving you the two. They are BFFs, right? And so they make 90. So this must be 75 because they have to make 90. Okay, and then they're telling you about cotangent. Well, cotangent and tangent are reciprocals, so that's why they do the 1 over to match, and they put the 15 because it's not 1 over this. That doesn't make sense because these are going to be reciprocals. Okay, if we go to this one, now we're in the same, Stella, we're in the same thing, but remember 90 is what pi over 2 is. Okay, so they're giving you secant and cosecant, and watch right here, secant and cosecant, you see them, they're the 90s buddies, they're BFFs, they make 90, but 90 is now pi over 2, so, you know, when I gave you that example of 30, we subtracted 30 from 90 and got 60, we're going to subtract this, what's pi over 2 subtracted from 90? Well, you have to, I'm sorry, what's pi over 14 subtracted from 90? It's like doing 90 minus 30. We got 60. Well, this is doing 90 minus pi over 14. So you can put that in the calculator and they get 3 pi over 7. Now, cosecant and sine, those are across buddies. They're across from each other. Those are the ones right here, you see? Sine and cosecant, those are the reciprocals. So you're going to do the 1 over those two because they are reciprocal buddies. I put the same number there. I know this is probably not a super fancy explanation. Same thing here. They're giving you cotangent, right? And if you do pi over 2 minus 5 pi over 16, you'll get 3 pi over 16. Okay? And then those two make 90, right? Let's see, wait, hang on. They make 90, okay? And they're also reciprocals. So cotangent and 1 over tangent are reciprocals of each other. So it's kind of like memorizing this. little chart down here, which you can take a picture of. I hope that helps. It's not as clear cut as you probably would like it to be, but that's what it is, kind of.